Hey guys, Graham Pruitt here with MVB Mortgage. I want to do this I'm going to capture me doing an example seller buy down strategy. So this is something that's really going to be very useful for realtors who have properties that are sitting on the market a little bit longer than they'd like, in a situation where they're thinking about having to reduce the price, or if they're being a buyer's coming in and offering them a lowball offer and the seller doesn't want to take it, they want to reject it completely and nobody can come to an agreement. So this is a great strategy because typically a lot of times in these situations people they don't know, but the only thing they know is attack price. And I'm flipping the script on this. I'm telling you, let's attack interest rate because it has a larger impact financially than just the price does. So I'm going to walk through this thing here a little bit. And I'm going to start at the top here, actually. So seller buy down, kind of what is it? So in today's market, both sellers and buyers need to evaluate the best approach. This is a great way to move up buyers who may want a bigger home but don't qualify. This is a great way and I'm adding this is a great way to negotiate with a buyer who can only simply see price. And it's a great way also to save your seller quite a bit of money by reducing price just to get the home sold. So we're going to go into this and you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's just start on this side. Let's just say I've got a listing here. Current price is $925,000, 20% down. You got a loan amount of $740. You've got an interest rate of 4.375. You can see what the cash to close is, the monthly payment, etc. Okay. We even go into details of how much income they need to qualify. Here is an example of what could happen, right? You've got a $25,000 price reduction. So let's just say that you're the realtor want to try to get some movement on this property. You go to the seller. Obviously, it's a little bit contentious because you don't have any offers on the property. You're asking them to lower the sales price. You're digging into their pocket by $25,000. So it's a pretty significant number. So let's say, okay, let's drop the price, right? Standard, normal, this is what everybody does. So we drop the price to $900. We got 20% down. Loan amount of $720, 4.375 is the rate, cash to close. And you can see not a huge impact for the buyer, $125 a month, not a big deal. So let's go over here. This is where I think things start getting interesting. So instead of dropping the sales price, lowering the comps in the neighborhood, trying to get people to come in and purchase this thing, and anyways, when you drop the price, a lot of times people look at it as an opportunity to come in and lowball it even further. So we don't touch on our seller buy down strategy. We don't touch the sales price. Now this is assuming value's there, right? We're just slow because the market's a little bit slow up in this upper end number. The house might be a little bit different. It's just not moving, but value's there. We know we've got comps. I'm not saying we don't move the sales price if the value is not there. We've got to keep that in consideration. So sales price of $925, 20% down, same loan amount as this one over here, right? Except what we do is we take, and instead of dropping the price by $25K, we take $25,000 and we offer that as a way to buy down the interest rate, okay? So we're attacking the rate, we're not attacking the price. Attacking rate, not price, okay? Cash to close, same as this one over here, right? Total monthly payment. Now we're starting to make a dent. $319 less on monthly savings here versus here. So that's about another call it $200 difference, right? So that's not small. There's not small change, okay? So that's kind of the cool thing. Here's where this, right? So cost to the seller, identical. Here's where the power of attacking rate is important. So if you look at this, in order to get an equivalent of payment, you'd have to drop this price to $844,000, right? So somebody who's coming in who says, I don't want to be any higher than $4,300 or $4,400 a month on a payment, they're going to be capped at this number here. This is their sales price. They want this house. They can only afford this right here. So what we're doing is we're using the power of attacking the interest rate, buying the rate down, and using that as leverage to then go back to the buyer and say, hey, listen, we're willing to give you $25,000. We want to give it to you as a rate buy down, because in most cases, and this doesn't show it, I can show you it on a different presentation, but in most cases, it's not the same. So if you look at this, my numbers here, typically what this is, okay, cost to seller. So here we go. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. So in order for this person to get the payment that they want, they'd have to ask for $80,000 off the sales price, right? And in some cases, they might do that and they might walk away, but we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We want to say, hey, look, let's look at this a different way. Let's, instead of dropping price, because we know the value is there, we've established that, we know that there's comparables, you know, things just may be shifting in the market and there's just, you know, it's just a little bit more difficult to get rid of this property. Instead, we go back to the buyer and we say, hey, look, we're not going to drop our price by $80,000, but what we will do is we'll offer you $25,000, okay, to buy down this rate. And let me show you what that looks like. What, you know, Mr. Buyer, what's your biggest concern? Is it cash to close? If it's cash to close, there might not be much we can do. But then again, there could be. We've got other options around that. But really what it is, if it's payment, if it's affordability, we can show them a different way. We know the value is there. Nobody really understands that attacking rate can be a better option than just reducing price. We show them the numbers and we try to negotiate for you, for your seller, to only give them $25,000 and not $80,000, which is what it would cost them to get down to this payment right here. Really good strategy. Great for homes in this price point or a little bit higher, even lower. It works at any price point, but it's using the mortgage as a tool to be able to save your client some money, save your seller some money, which I think they would really appreciate. This is a great strategy. You can use it at any price point. Honestly, if somebody wants to offer you $10,000 off the price, you can show them what using $3,000 as a seller credit would do and how it would help them. So anyway, this is a great option. I'd love to show this to you and how it works. If you're a realtor out there, you need to go have that tough conversation with your client about buying down the rate. I'm sorry, about lowering the sales price, or you've got somebody who's making a lowball offer. This also works really well. I can help in a couple different ways here. If your seller has a hard stop on, we need to net this amount of money, we can't move off of that because we want to purchase this new property with 20% down, I can show you tactics on how to help get that home sold and get them into their new property using the same strategy on the new one, putting less money down, keeping the same payment that they would have had otherwise. So there's a lot that I can do with this. I'd love to fill you in on it. I hope this makes sense. If you want to talk more about it, I'd be happy to do that.